passenger unstable. Smoke in the lungs, head in the void. Reality bends like a broken toy. Neon streets melt into flame. He said one puff, now nothing's the same. Pierre said try it, fatal mistake. Now the ground shifts with every step he takes. Vision fractured, body delayed. Lost in the ride that he never made. Too high from the supply, no chance, no alibi. Handshake, pupils wide, no way he's fit to drive. Yes, das Uber mayhem. Metal wheels in a system unclaimed. Yes, das Uber mayhem. Driver unknown, destination erased. He's way too high to drive. Time for das Uber home. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Backseat prison, synthetic glow. GPS whispers he'll never know. Streetlights flicker like hostile eyes. Every turn just multiplies. Driver silent, face unseen. Rearview mirror shows something obscene. Voice says arriving, but nothing's there. Just endless roads and poisoned air. Too high from the supply. Mind bends, circuits fry. Can't tell truth from lie. This ride won't let him die. Yes, das Uber mayhem. Stealing shadows call his name. Yes, das Uber mayhem. Endless ride, no one to blame. He's way too high to drive.
What is up, guys? What is up? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here. So it's kind of going to be a chill. I don't really have I just got off of work. Like, what? I just got home maybe about an hour ago. So, excuse me. That's why I'm a little bit. I usually try to start around 9, if earlier. So it's kind of annoying, but I just got off of work. Got to get something to eat. So when I got off of work, finish eating, this is when I'm able to do the live. So since, this is when I'm able to do the live, I'm just doing a little bit impromptu. So yeah. But okay, let's get started. I got a couple of videos today, right? I mean, if there's going to be a chill stream, not many people on, which is I'm cool with as well, right? It's not a big deal. I will just have a couple of videos, right? A certain kind of oriented stream. Now, if you see the title, right, I'm tired of the alphabet community. Now, I'm going to say this, right? And the alphabet community, I mean the LGBT, BD, whatever, right? All the, letters and acronyms or whatever. I'm not saying that I hate these people or that, I want something bad to happen to people, because I don't, right? Live however you want. That's how I believe, right? You can like a man, like a woman, like a car, for all I care. You can like whatever you want. You could be whatever you want. My thing is that what we're seeing today is, one, there need to be in everything. Like, for such a small population of people, they have to be in every single form of media. Comic books, video games, movies, TVs, and all these things. And there's like almost every show, movie, game, comic, book, whatever, there has to be a person of the alphabet community. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's like, let me see. I want to double check something. Give me a minute. Okay. This is the thing, right? There's about 25 million people, right? 25 million Asian people in America. While it's weird, right? There's about, let's say, about 15 million, right? It's weird. The population is kind of weird. It's all over the place. I will say this, right? It is about let's highball it. About 20 million. 20 million people of the LGBTQ whatever plus community, okay? The alphabet community has more representation than Asian people. Now, I'm not complaining. I don't really care, right? I'm not out here clamoring for representation, but like for a population that's smaller, right, than let's say the Asian community, yet they have a bigger representation in society than Asian people. I'm just trying to give you a perspective of what I'm talking about. Why are you represented in everything? Why does there need to be, someone gay, someone lesbian, someone trans, someone binary, someone, I don't know, whatever else they represent in every form of media? I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it's like, it gets tiring. It's tiring. I mean, like, I it's like I see more of them than I see more Asian people. And I'm not clamoring, oh, we need representation. I'm just like, how about not everyone needs to be represented, right? I just want something entertaining to watch. And in my opinion, right, it's not the most entertaining to watch people of the alphabet community. That's just my own personal opinion. Now, besides for the oversaturation, and that's what I'm talking about, right? The oversaturation of the alphabet community, okay? Besides for the oversaturation of the alphabet community, I'm also like, I'm a little bit tired of what I deem their need to push their mental instability on the rest of the world. Okay. So we'll be talking about that tonight, right? And one of the bigger communities, probably less than the others, right? It's the Transformers. It's the Transformers, right? That's definitely an issue in my opinion, right? It's the Transformers that I find the biggest level of mental instability. Yet we are okay with it. We are okay pushing this level of mental instability. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. This video kind of shows an example of what I'm talking about when I'm saying the mental instability of the alphabet community.
Pled guilty to two acts of sexual violence.
And then he raped a 17-year-old girl, right?
Again, this case was handled by the state court in Indiana, but
I'm just asking you the facts. Don't stall on me now. Did he rape a 17-year-old girl or not after raping a 9-year-old boy?
I believe that's what he pled guilty to.
Okay, and then he went to prison, didn't he?
Yes, the petitioner was.
And then he came out and he sent.
Why is a man that was convicted, right? What I'm believing, right? I don't really know this case, but I'm just what I'm listening to. Why is a man that's convicted of doing heinous things to children 2 times even allowed to walk again on this earth? Why? I've said this before in my some recent TikTok videos or some YouTube shorts I've uploaded. How can these convicted, I believe in my honest opinion, 100% convicted, 100% proven. What? I understand, right? Sometimes there are cases that are, are later found, innocent. I get it. But there are some cases, if not a lot of cases, where the perpetrators are 100% proven, right, to have done the act, why are they still allowed to walk this earth? Why is a man that has done heinous things to children still alive and able to walk back out into society? This is a thing where if I could be critical of America and maybe praise even China, which is I'm not always, someone who does that. But China just recently passed where if you are convicted of doing heinous things to children, you'll be deleted. Why, do we not do that?
Child porn, basically adults raping little children to another sex offender. And he was sent back to prison, right?
The petitioner pled guilty to
Was he sent back to prison?
Well, that case was in the federal system, so...
Was he sent back to prison?
Yes, this time to federal prison.
Thank you. And then he decided to transition, and he became a female and started going by July Justine Shelby. Is that right?
Yes.
And Miss Shelby said, I don't want to go to a male prison. I want to go to a female prison. And the Board of Prisons said, what planet did you parachute in from? You're going to a male prison with this kind of record. And you sent him to a female prison, didn't you? You said that the Board of Prisons was trying to violate Ms. Shelby, former Mr. McLean's constitutional rights, didn't you?
I issued a report and recommendation to the district judge recommending...
Feminists are evil. Feminists are 100% evil. They just hunger for power, right? Even if that power does something heinous, they don't care. As long as they are able to exert power, that's what they want. This disgusting piece of shit. I thought it was, empowering to... This is the mental instability I'm talking about, right? Empowering, or whatever fuck else these disgusting people think, to let a man that did heinous things to children, and if he changed, right, his gender, he is what? Supported? He is championed? He is, I don't know, he's cared for? And right here, this woman allowed a disgusting sex criminal into a all-female prison. And you think feminists fight for women? They don't. They don't fight for women. They fight for power. Even, you know what? Like, I've learned this thing. Back when feminism started, most women didn't want it. Most women didn't want it. Particularly minority communities didn't need it. They were working. They had to make money. They had to, grind and be in the workforce. But it's the white liberal women that wanted feminism. Why? Because they wanted power. They were hungry for power. They saw the men, right? They saw the powerful white man, powerful rich white man, and they wanted that. Right? They wanted to be in power. They wanted to be, revered or whatever they think. And that's why against majority of women, or a lot of women's behest, they push for feminism. Because they know that this is a start of, if women can gain equality, next would be power.
That the district judge transfer the petitioner to a women's facility. The district judge adopted that recommendation.
The Board of Prisons was trying to violate Ms. Shelby's, Mr. McLean's constitutional rights, didn't you?
So I based my decision on the facts that were presented to me in the record evidence.
But it wasn't that your ruling?
What was the facts? He was a sex criminal who has done heinous things to children. That's a fact, right? And he's pled guilty to it on multiple occasions. And then the other fact is that he changed his gender. Okay. That's the evidence you were given. And that was enough. That was enough for you to put this heinous criminal, right? This dangerous, disgusting criminal in an all-female prison?
Recommended finding that under Estelle versus Gamble.
Why won't you admit that was your ruling? Are you ashamed of it?
I'm not. I'm answering the question. I applied Estelle versus
But
Gamble.
was that your ruling?
My recommendation was that the petitioner's serious medical needs were being denied by keeping her in a men's facility.
A violation of the Eighth Amendment, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And how big?
So their mental needs, right? Instead of sending them to like a, I don't know, insane asylum or some kind of mental institution, you want to send this sex criminal into an all-female prison. Women are stupid. I'm sorry. And you know what? This is a thing where I don't even blame the alphabet community. I still blame women. I still blame feminists, right? Because this is the thing. Women are the ones who are pushing it. White liberal females are pushing this. They want to push these communities to the forefront because they know that they can hide behind these communities. They can, do their shade. To be honest, I believe the Illuminati is filled with women. I believe the Illuminati is filled with women, not with men. I don't know. I mean, I believe the Illuminati is filled with rich, white, feminist women.
Big was Ms. Shelby, Mr. McLean?
I don't have a specific recollection. Your colleague just suggested that she was more than 6 feet tall.
And you told the Board of Prisons, well,
that wasn't a fact that you took into account, that this deranged man was quite tall than most women probably in that prison, more imposing than other women.
She'll be okay. The other women in the female prison will be okay because it's only hypothetical that Ms. Shelby, Mr. McLean would reoffend again after he's already raped a 9-year-old boy and a 17-year-old girl and has been sending child porn through the mail. You said there's no chance he'll reoffend again. Did you say that?
Senator Kennedy, I based my decision on the record.
But am I right? Did you conclude that?
I don't have a specific recollection of that. I did recommend that after finding a constitutional violation.
What were you thinking in saying it's only hypothetical that she would reoffend?
The facts of the case were that the petitioner had last engaged in a contact offense 30 years ago. The petitioner had not engaged in any contact.
Do you know what kind of offense this disgusting man did? It was against children. I don't give a shit. It was 100 years ago. You think people that has heinous offense against children, well, 30 years ago, 40, 50, 70 years ago will now be what? Holier than thou? Will now be like absolutely, amazing person? I'm sorry. This most likely high degree woman has a rock for a brain.
Events. In addition, the medical evidence made clear that for the last 5 years, the petitioner was sober and hormonally entirely a female, and there was no evidence.
Hormone? What?
The Board of Prisons didn't agree with you. I'm not going to run out of time here. You're really a political activist, aren't you?
I am not, sir.
But your record demonstrates otherwise.
I disagree. I apply the law to the facts and come to a fair decision. All of my decisions that have been appealed, particularly this one, the district judge adopted my report and recommendation in full, and the government did not move for a stay of the decision. Pled guilty.
You know, what she did say in the end is that it shows you that people aren't holding these disgusting people accountable, right? That's the problem. You're enabling him, right? Most likely, who was above her was another Democrat, was another leftist, liberal, whatever, right? The people she just said, right? Oh, the whatever, they didn't push back on her. Yeah, most likely because they were also Democrats, liberals, and leftists. So, yeah, no duh, they support her disgusting decision. And again, that is another thing I'm talking about. Yo, Brent, what is up, my brother? What is up? And this is what I'm saying. This tonight, I'm going to be saying it. I support you living how you want. I don't support delusions. I don't support hypocrisies. I don't support, honestly, a high level of degeneracy. I don't support mental instabilities, high level of mental instabilities. I don't support pushing your abnormal ideologies onto others. Okay. And even you can have an opinion on it, but I believe that, right? Shit like this shows you that we're trying to make others accept the delusion. We're trying to push it on others. This is a woman that pushed this mentally disturbed prisoner's delusions onto an all-female prison, right? You said this is a woman, so this woman needs to be in an all-female prison. So you're pushing that delusion on a whole prison system, right? Same thing with all the trans shit. You need to push it. This is a woman. This is a woman. That's what I'm talking about. You need to push this delusion on the masses, and that is where I'm absolutely disgusted by. I just can't. I have to say something about it. And it's not popular, right? I've been social media strike before. I've been, whatever, but I don't care. I don't care. I will still voice my opinion. So, it is what it is. But what really stirred tonight's idea for tonight's video is this, right? A video from Asmongold. I love Asmongold, right? I've only liked him for this last year or so, right? About, because I really didn't watch this man's content like that. Only until recently, right? Like I said, about a year or so, maybe about half a year or whatnot, is when I started to get into this man's content. So I really liked it. I really think it's interesting. I like some of his takes. Okay. So what really spurred tonight's video is two of his videos that we will react to. So let's check it out.
Did you see the WoW Pride event? I did. I don't know why gay people have to make their sexuality in every fucking thing, right? Like,
exactly what I'm talking about. I'm tired of it. You can live your life however you want. Replace Pride Month with Veterans Appreciation Month. They can get a day. Exactly. Seriously. I 100% agree with Brent. How is it that gay people have a month and our veterans have a day, maybe, right? A day, 2 days, 3 days, right? Are you kidding me? People that defended our nation don't even get a month, but yet the degenerates of our societies, the mentally unstable of our society, gets a whole month. The weakest people in our society, right? Some of the weakest people in our society gets a whole month. Some of the people who, honestly, the most useless, in my opinion, the most useless people in our society gets a whole month.
I don't understand it. It's fucking annoying. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, if you want to be gay, you want to suck a dude's dick, go ahead. But goddamn, do we really need to have a parade about it? Like, damn, bro, like, really? I mean, it's not that big of a fucking deal, and you're going around crashing out over this like it's nothing. So, no, deep down, they know it's wrong. I mean, I don't even know if that's the reason. But, like, no, I saw that, and I said again, I went and I said, so it happened a little bit ago, right? So, there it is. World of Warcraft is adding its first official Pride event called Darkspear Dash. And the event raises money for LGBT Trevor Project. And I said I would be mad, but at this point, this event is the least gay thing in the game.
Antics. I've been blacklisted before, or at least on TikTok, a lot of my videos have been striked before, right? So whatever. I mean, this is a thing where I guess this is the benefit of being a small time creator. I'm not that popular, right? Not many people watch my streams, right? Not many people pay attention to me. So, I mean, no one pays attention to my videos, right? So, it gives me a little bit of freedom to just say a whole lot of shit, right? It gives me a little bit of freedom to say a whole lot of shit. I agree. The most useless and the most demanding adult children. Brent, 100%. But here's the thing, right? This is the freedom, right? Because I'm not that popular, right? I'm not popular at all. I'm not that watched at all, so it gives me a little freedom to say a whole lot of crap. To voice my opinions completely and not be totally worried. I think you have a sound following. I mean, it's a decent following, right? I love my chat. I love my followers, right? I think it's a decent, dedicated following. Okay, but I mean, again, it's not that big, but still, it gives me a opportunity. You know what? I'm not worried. I'm not worried to say shit. So, I'm gonna say it, and I'll probably be, if I was bigger, right? If I was like Mr. Beast, I'll probably be canceled for the things I'll say tonight.
So that's really where we're at. It is. And
I mean, did you not hear what just happened to the NBA player Jaden Ivory? Right? I believe he was fired. If he was not fired, he was benched. He was benched or kicked off his team for saying things about the alphabet community. And I was like, that is disgusting. And I was more disgusted. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? I'm more disgusted of the black community. For if that black man, right, said things about Trump, said things about he was waived, said things about Trump, said things about white people, said things about white supremacy, and got fired for it, there will be a protest, a riot, in my opinion. Right? There will be outraged for a black man getting fired for talking about Trump, for talking about white people, for talking about white supremacy. But, oh, God forbid, he talks about the gays. He talks about the alphabet community. Black women, no, yeah. I mean, like, to be honest, I mean, it's a sad thing, but black women have more power than black men. Political power, right? It's a sad thing, but that's the thing, right? This man was honestly made an example of for not bending the knee to the alphabet community. This black man, I agree. Black women support the alphabet community 100%. Right? They support the alphabet community over the black community because here's a man, right? Here's a black man, successful black man that didn't bend the knee to the alphabet community, got no support. He was, so yeah, I'm very critical of it.
Again, World of Clowncraft. True. Yeah. And so anyway, of course they did. Yes, of course they did. I find it to be so insufferable and fucking.
And again, right? And again, I want to reiterate. I don't care how you live your life. You want to You know, you want to suck dick? Go ahead. Right? Just like Asman said, I don't care. Right? I don't care. I don't care if you believe you're a woman. I don't care if you believe you're a car. Right? I don't care. I don't care if you believe you're a unicorn. I've seen grown adults believe they're dogs. I don't care. My problem is if you have to push your mental instability onto the rest of the world, you have to make the rest of the world accept you. You have to bend your knee to the insane people. That's when I care. That you can't even voice your opinions against this community or you get canceled. Literally, right? This successful black man was canceled for having an opinion. Right? Against the alphabet community. So, yeah, that's when I'm going to voice my opinion. That's when I actually care.
Annoying that every single video game has to do something that reaffirms gay people. Holy fuck, guys. Like, do we need to have an identity pride, like an identity event for everybody? And this is the issue that I have, right? Is like, if you want to be gay, be gay. I don't give a fuck. Nobody really cares, right? I mean, like, obviously there's like, you know, I guess there's some inbreds on the other side of the world that love caring about this. Most normal people don't give a shit. So
I don't care if you're gay. I don't really care if you're trans. All right? I don't. One, don't push it onto children. All right? Because, like, to be honest, like, you constantly think that, children need to think about their sexual identity. We don't even push children think about sex. Why do we push children thinking about their sexual identity? Right? That's fucking stupid. Two, don't push your mental instability on the rest of the world. You think you're a woman? Fine, fuck it. I don't give a shit. But you want me to call you a woman? Now that's the problem, right? Because I don't need to call you nothing. Right? It's your freedom to think yourself as a woman. That's your freedom. It's not your freedom to have me call you a woman. That's not part of the freedom package, right? That's not part of the freedom package. That's not part of the freedom package in America. All right? You can believe you're a unicorn for all I care. But if you expect me to call you a unicorn, now, you know, now you're delusional. So that's the shit. And then you need to push it on every freaking thing. Right? There's pride flags all over the US, yet there's not Asian flags all over the US, right? I don't see no Vietnamese flags all over the US. Right? Like, again, these gays, the alphabet community has more representation than the Asian community. That's insane to me.
if I have to constantly fucking see every single time, every game has to have some sort of nod, like approval or something like that for being fucking gay. It is exhausting, man. Oh my God. Like, how insecure do you have to be that every single video game and piece of media needs to reaffirm your sexuality? Holy fuck, man. Like, it's one thing. It's one thing to say, you know what? I don't want to be discriminated against. I don't want to be treated like I am this bad weirdo. I want to be treated the same as everybody else because I'm an American and
that's the thing, right? I will be 100% behind the alphabet community if they're fighting for, oh, don't kill me because of my sexual orientation, right? Don't bully me because of my sexual orientation. Don't give me a job or, I don't know, whatever, just because of my sexual orientation. Okay, I stand behind that. I agree with you, right? We shouldn't be we shouldn't be discriminating people based on their orientation, their gender, their race. I 100% agree. We should be discriminating on your mental instability, how crazy you are, how delusional you are, your hypocrisies. That's what we should be, discriminating against.
deserve that. But they don't want that. They want to be elevated and celebrated. There's nothing to celebrate sucking a dick. There's plenty of people that suck dicks all the time. They don't get celebrated. Damn, just do it. Like, that's the way I see it. It's patronizing. Well, that comment, no, it's weird as fuck. It is. It's weird as fuck. And why is it that every single fucking thing has to have some degree of pride parade? And the Trevor Project, isn't this for just being trans? I mean, this isn't even for LGBT, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, no, it's suicide prevention. Okay, for some reason, I thought that was for trans. Well, I guess I'm wrong about that. Either way, there's Mother's Day. Yeah, there's already a day for sucking dick. And bad take, I celebrate it.
Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Every dick sucker, I guarantee you that you don't, okay? And so, yeah, I identify with a full head of hair. I guess so. And, yeah, it's just, it's so fucking annoying, man. It is. And the reason why I find it to be annoying is because how many groups need an identity? Like, we have Black History Month, which, like, okay, in America, yeah, I think Black History Month is kind of like, I don't know what racist senator said, well, why don't we give them the whole month for their history? What month were you thinking, Senator? I was thinking the shortest month with the least days. Yeah! We'll call it Black History Month. And that's what it had to have been, right? I mean, damn. How you gonna give them the shortest month for Black History Month? Really? Like, damn. And so, where's White History Month? I mean, again, you know, like, you could be racist and say it's the rest of the year. And so you develop 11 expansions, you suck one dick, you're not a developer, you're a dick sucker. Well, they've been doing a lot of the both, right? And incels don't have anything. It's like, yeah, when do we get Incel Appreciation Month? When do we get Furry Appreciation Day? Where do we get Adult Baby Diaper Fur celebration weekend? When do we get BDSM? Oh, I guess we had that with Maldraxxus and the Shadowlands and the Venthyr. Never mind, we already had that. Let's see. Besides that, oh wow. What other? Oh man, how about we need how about like a Yuri Fridays? How about that? Where like all of the all of the female characters have like an animation where they can make out with each other. And so no, I think Epstein. You know what? Let's not have Epstein Tuesdays. I think that's a bad one. Okay, yeah, it's definitely.
You know what? This is the thing where I think it's funny. Okay, that Trevor project for the self-deletion of the alphabet community. Men, right? Men account for roughly 80% of all self-deletion. Do men have a month? Do men even do anyone even raise money for men self-deleting? Ain't that something? The alphabet community has more representation than Asian people. The alphabet community has projects, right? They raise money for certain projects about self-deletion, when honestly, men account for 80% of self-deletion. Men have no project. No one's raising money for men's, self-deletion problem. I think that's funny. I think we have a skewed, a fucked up way of viewing society. We care more about the alphabet community than we do Asian people. We care about the alphabet community than we do, let's say, men. I think it's interesting. Fucking stupid, but interesting. Laughing Man, what is up, my brother? What is up?
A bad one. And Goth Mommy Sunday. Yeah. And it's like illegal. Why don't we have Illegal Aliens Day and we can celebrate the day that the orcs illegally immigrated from Draenor into Azeroth because of the help of a guy who was possessed by a literal demon. So the only instance of illegal immigration that's happened in World of Warcraft was spurred on by an intergalactic, interdimensional Satan figure figure that was poisoning the mind of a person who wanted to destroy the place that all of the illegal immigrants were coming to. Like, are going to try to normalize as being attracted to minors. I think that there are people, every pedo is waiting and waiting and waiting to find their opportunity to, basically.
And you know why I say, right? You know why I say that, again, I'm going to preface this. I have no study. I have no stats on this. I have no source to this, right? Personal opinion, right? Why I say that the alphabet community could be a pipeline to pedos. Why? Because here's the thing. When you accept gays, lesbians, okay, and then you need to build, now you need to build acceptance for trans people. Okay. That's a stretch. Next, you'll probably, right, have to build acceptance for the pedo community, right? Now, I mean, they're trying to change the name. What is it? MAPS, right? Literally, they're trying to change the marketing for the pedos. So, and I've shown proof of it that women, right, are the ones who's pushing that ideology. And I'll say this and I'll say it again. Women, particularly feminists, are the root of all evils. The root of all modern day evils. Women are the root of all modern day evils, or the majority of them, in my opinion.
Misrepresent and take advantage of the LGBT movement so they can push their sick fantasies. I think that that's true. I think there's a lot of them that want to do that. Now, I don't think that, and I think it's fundamentally massively different, right? Like, I do think there's a fallacy that, like, being gay, being trans, being bi, being queer, or, some other variation of it, this is fundamentally different than, like, being a fucking pedo. And the reason why is consent. Right? Like, somebody wants to be trans, they decided that. Two people want to suck each other's dicks, they decided that. That's it. And so there's a huge fucking difference in my mind between the two things. But, I guess people are going to look at it.
I could agree.
Different way. And it's sexuality, devil's advocate. Well, yeah, but I think that there's an unspoken, it's not even an unspoken rule, it's a very spoken rule that your sexuality ends where other people's consent begins. So, for example, there are people that like voyeurism. Does that mean that it's okay to take upskirt photos of girls? No, I don't think so. So there's people that I don't know, they like the idea of something being non-consensual is exciting in itself to them. That's just what they like. And I think that many people, and by the way, many people that are into these sexual deviancies, I think that if they could push a button and be as into just heterosexual normal sex with a woman, if they could just push that button and shift, they would do that. I think
controversially, right? I don't think so. Because it's counterintuitive to who they are, right? Because I was thinking about this, right? We have literal punishments, right? Deterrents for criminals, for criminality, right? Some cases it's the death penalty, some cases, in some states. And yet people still do crime. People know that it's wrong. I mean, unless you completely change your whole makeup, right? Completely change your whole mindset. Okay, maybe, right? Your brain is 100% rewired. Okay. But other than that, right? Even if you push a button that makes you want to or whatever, be straight, you probably wouldn't, because it's counterintuitive, or it's counteracting who you are, right? That's the thing where I just believe that, if you're, this is why I rarely believe in reform, right? I rarely believe in reform. I don't see it as consistent, right? Reform. If you've done such heinous crimes as in, doing heinous things to children, doing, the R word to men or women, right? you murder, right? First degree murder, out and out murder. You are unable to be rehabilitated. You should be deleted.
A lot of them wish that they weren't programmed this way, but at the end of the day, if you're programmed like a virtual boy, you're going to have to be retarded. And so that's what happens with these people, right? It's freedom and liberties in general. Yeah, exactly, right? Can you imagine a quest log for this event? I could, and if I did, I'd get banned. So I won't do that. But anyway, how about incest between consenting adults? Well, the problem with incest is that it produces kids that are dysfunctional. And when you produce kids that are dysfunctional, then the entire world has to pay for it. So that's the reason why incest is a problem. It's because if you if you want to fuck your cousin and you have you pop out a kid and your kid looks like the prophets from Halo, maybe. Let me think. Another one. Fuck. Okay. Who? What else? What else? What do we really have? Quasimodo.
Or they act like Ralphie from The Simpsons. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't like that. Let me think. Man, I gotta think of some other one. The Riddler? No, the Goonies. Yeah, the guy from the Goonies. I like that. Like, everybody's got to pay for that, right? We all got to pay for this. And so, like, that's the reason why you can't fuck your cousin, right? It's because it's expensive on everybody, right? Because now we got to pay for a bunch of fucking inbred kids. And so nobody wants to do that. It's annoying. And so Sid from Ice Age, I like that. And what if they're sterile? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't really care if two people want to do that. I think it's really weird, but like, to the extent that I don't have to see it, I don't really care. Like, I don't want to legislate and I don't want to micromanage people's bedroom behavior, right? Like, somebody wants to do something in a bedroom with another consenting adult, like, I really couldn't give a fuck. You want me to be honest, right? As long as it doesn't negatively affect other people. But I think that's the way, and by the way, I think that's the way almost everybody feels. Like, am I crazy? Like, is that how y'all feel too?
Exactly. I mean, I've literally seen people are fine with being in cages and acting like dogs, right? Acting like animals. So whatever. You're doing that shit in your own home. So whatever. I don't care. It's weird. It's weird, but I don't care, right? Whatever. Do the shit you want, right? It's not going to affect me. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to affect anyone, I believe. So go ahead, do the crazy things you want. But when it does affect others, right? Particularly affects, this is why I said, right? Pushing these ideologies onto children, you're affecting others. Making people accept your delusions, you're affecting others. That's the problem.
Like, that's the way a lot of people feel, right? I mean, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to run people's lives, right? I mean, like, goddamn. And so anyway, what about adoptive siblings? Bro, like, damn. Wait, do you have an adoptive sibling? Why do you keep asking about this? What's going on, man? You got something you want to tell us? Look, man, look. If that's where you're at, there are resources that you can get help, brother. You can get help. It doesn't have to be like this. You understand this? Rainbows are gay. They did make rainbows gay. I mean, rainbows were always gay, right? I mean, let's be honest. They were always gay. But now they're, like, officially gay. So, yeah, that's it. But anyway, we love ruining fandoms. I think that, I'll go back, I'll wrap this up. I think that it is so insufferably fucking annoying that gay people, trans people, and everybody inside of the LGBT umbrella, not everybody, but the outspoken, pathological, narcissistic, self-obsessed, self-referential, attention whores,
egotistical, delusional, hypocritical, bigots, right, of the alphabet community.
Inside of these communities can't stop talking about themselves, and because of that, they need every piece of media to reaffirm their identity.
I said this. Why the fuck there has to be someone of the alphabet community in every form of media? There's someone in the alphabet community in comic books, TV, movies, news, whatever. And yet you don't see Asian people in this, right? I think there's more Asian people than there are people of the alphabet community. Yet the alphabet community is represented in every form of our fucking media. Almost every movie has to have someone of the alphabet community. Yet I don't see no checklist for every movie has to have at least an Asian person. Again, I'm using it as an example. I'm not because I'm desiring representation. I'm using that example as by certain statistics, right? There are more Asian people in America than they are people of the alphabet community. And yet, you see more people of the alphabet community in almost all forms of, I think all form of our media, right? Than you do Asian people. Hell, there's gay people on radio. Do you even hear Asian people on radio? That's what I'm saying. It's like every form of media, there are gay people. There are people of the alphabet community. Comic books, cartoons. It's like everything. You see more of these people than you do see Asian people, and yet the amount of Asian people in America, by certain studies, right, certain statistics, certain stats, outnumber people of the alphabet community. Yet the alphabet community, hell, I think the alphabet community is probably more represented in media than the Hispanic community. And I'm pretty sure the Hispanic community is bigger than the alphabet community, right? But I see more gays. I see more gays in media than I see Hispanics. That's the insanity I'm talking about. It's like, what the hell is this? Why are they more represented than pretty much anything? I think, besides white people and black people, I think people of the alphabet community are the third most represented. Today, it's insane. They demand more attention than blind orphans of the... Think of the blind orphans. Exactly. They demand... It's like, seriously?
It is fucking exhausting for me to have to see every single thing has some sort of gay pride, trans pride, some variation of this. And this is coming from somebody, I support gay rights. I support trans rights for adults. I support a lot of these things, but I don't want to fucking see it in every single piece of media constantly. It is this...
I support your right not to be discriminated. Right? I support your right not to be discriminated. That's it. Right? I support your right not to be discriminated. Anything else? Do I support gay people using or trans people using women's bathroom? No. Fuck that shit. That's not your right. But not to be discriminated? Okay.
Overcorrection where they want to put their sexuality front and center and basically force people into interfacing with and acknowledging that they are what they are. This is exhausting, it's confrontational, it's unnecessary, and it's insecure.
Yeah, I mean, but I find it weird, right? I mean, yeah, I looked at it. It is about the same, but it's like, really? Why are they? This is a thing where I also think that it's a fad. I'm sorry. I think because let's be honest, right? I've known a few lesbians that are baby moms. How are you a lesbian, but you're a baby mom, right? How? I'm just like, what? That doesn't make sense. And then we have people who just like, all their life. Today, right? All their life they were like what? Straight. And now all of a sudden they're lesbian or gay. I'm like, it's a fucking fad. It's like, it's a fad. It's like it's a trendy thing. It's a trendy thing to be gay or lesbian or now a trans. So it's like I really think that's why I'm like, I mean it is the stats, right? It is the stats. But again, I'm like, I put a little grain of salt, right? A little asterisk on these stats because, like, how are there so many, right? How are they like about the same. I mean, certain stats say that they're less than, certain stats say that they're more than, certain stats say they're about the same. It's like that shows you the fluctuation, right? It's like, oh, right now I'm gay, right now I'm straight, right now I'm trans, right now I'm not, like this. But it just shows you more mental instability. I'm sorry, right? The stats, right, shows you how mentally disturbed, mentally unstable this group is.
You want to suck a dude's dick? Go ahead. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up about it. Holy shit, how many times do we have to hear about this? So that's the way I see it. It's exhausting. And every time I see a new game company that capitulates to these fucking narcissists, which is what they are, massive narcissists, and if you disagree with that, go back and look at what I covered yesterday.
You know how many, right? You know how many times, you know why I stopped reading comic books? It's like, why the fuck is there so many gays in comic books? Why? Why are there so many lesbians and gays in comic books? It's like, what the fuck are you gearing this towards? There's more gay people or lesbians in comic books than there are Asian people. And yet, as an Asian man, you're not representing me or gearing your comic books towards me, which is fine, right? I still read, the Iron Mans or the Captain Americas or the Supermans or the Batman shit, right? White man, I don't give a shit. But it's like, now you show me gay shit? I'm sorry, I'm tired. I'll probably stream for, I don't know, an hour or so. Alan, what is up? What is up, my brother? I'm just saying, like, this is like, it's the overrepresentation, right? It's the need. It's the absolute egotistical need to be overrepresented in everything. I mean, like, how many gay people even buy comic books? I don't know. I don't think many, which is why I think the comic book industry is dying for a while because it's wokeness. Same thing with a lot of things.
This guy reacted to a clip I was talking about World of Warcraft.
I'm 27 years old, right?
You're 27?
I'm 27 years old. I'm a heterosexual male. I'm blessed in many regards. When I watched Spider-Man as a kid, he's white. He's a straight white guy. Mm-hmm. Stone Cold Steve Austin's a straight white guy. John Cena's invisible, but he's a white guy, straight. In all forms of media that I've grown up with, I've never once was not represented. And a lot of people...
It's the stupid need, right? It's the stupid need to be represented. I'm sorry, I grew up on Stallone, Schwarzenegger, right? I grew up on, Kurt Russell, all these amazing action-oriented actors. I had no desire. I was not dying to be represented, right? Jackie Chan was cool, right? Jet Li was awesome. But it's like, okay, I'm not like, oh man, I need to be represented. Great. I mean, Asian people aren't still represented, but I didn't have a desire for it. I just had a desire for, just give me badass movies. Just give me badass movies. Just give me badass comic books. But now it's like, I'm sorry. All the form of media that I love to consume, it's being tainted by the need to be represented. I've said this before, right? All our forms of media now has to be a check mark. That's it. I've said this to a friend that a lot of media, right? A lot of content is dying. A lot of entertainment is dying is because someone backstage, a producer or a director, whatever, right? A CEO, whatever, says these are the check marks you need to do. I don't give a shit what you're doing, right? I don't care the story. I don't care anything. Just do the check mark, right? Has to be a woman. Has to be some badass woman in it. Has to be someone of the alphabet community. Has to be someone a minority. Has to be, I don't know. Has to, shit on men. Has to talk about toxic masculinity. Has to talk about patriarchy. Has to blah, 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 blah. It's like, I'm tired of it. Just focus on a good story.
Including myself at one point in time. And this might sound woke. I really don't give a fuck. I don't care.
I mean, you could, Alan. I mean, I don't mind having a back and forth. You could always answer it, right? I don't mind. You know, if you have any opinions, right, Alan? I always support you having an opinion, right? If you have an opinion, shoot it.
I don't care because you won't know the opposite and the opposition end if you're not someone who's never been represented in media. And sometimes,
by the way, the fact that the Dragon Ball Z is massively popular all around the world and Goku is basically like either white or Japanese, right? And it's extremely popular in South America where the overwhelming majority of those people are not white, just immediately disproves this entire narrative, but we'll just let it continue.
maybe you might be Asian, black, Hispanic, whatever, and you don't care about media representation, and that's fine. But growing up, every fucking action figure I've seen, most of them are white. Most of the movies are white. Most of the people in the movies and shit were white.
I'm pretty sure, right? I mean, this is just my personal opinion. I'm pretty sure at least a lot of the white kids, in my opinion, right, didn't care about Terminator because he was white. Cared about it, he was badass. They didn't care about Rambo because he's white. I mean, maybe they did, right? But they care about Rambo because it was badass. I think, I mean, yes, these people are white. Maybe it helped, you know, them caring about it. But in my personal opinion, right, I think the badassery it trumps all of it, right? I honestly believe it. Because maybe, I mean, like, we don't have it, right? We don't have it proven, right? But I mean, you know, I believe that if it was of someone of a other minority, right, of a other ethnicity, people would still call it badass, right? And they will still like it. That's what I think.
Straight people, not gay, not transsexual, etc. There is a level of representation.
Even if you want to make this argument, let's assume everything that he's saying is true. Even if you want to make this argument, I think that representation should not come at the expense of other representation. So I think that people should be looking to try to...
My thing is that I think representation shouldn't come at the cost of good storytelling, of good, making the material good, right? I believe we water down action scenes, we water down stories so we can have the opportunity to push any kind of the woke ideologies that we need to push, right? That's what I believe. Fine, you want representations, you want black people in it, you want women in it, you want people, alphabet community people in it, fine, whatever. But why is it that a lot of the times, maybe not all the time, but a lot of the times, it comes at the sacrifice of the story, right? Because a lot of times, no, you don't need to be gay, right? You don't need to be a woman. You don't need to be a minority. It doesn't add to the story. It doesn't make the story any better.
Build their own ideals, their own role models, their own people. And also, by the way, what about sports? Sports is overwhelmingly overrepresented by black people. It is. Like, you look at NBA, NFL, overwhelmingly it's over.
Which I think is funny, right? Just like sometimes we talk about how women want to be represented, you know, in, like, you know, positions of power, but they don't want women represented as plumbers, as electricians, as construction workers, right? When they make up what? Under 10% of those professions? But we don't care about that. No one talks about how underrepresented they are in those positions. They talk about they're underrepresented as CEOs, as presidents, as all the high earning jobs, right? As engineers, that's what we care about. We care about how minorities are underrepresented in, let's say, you know, other forms of media and shit, but we don't talk about how, you know, they're overrepresented in sports. We don't talk about that. And I agree, you know what, in sports, don't pick people because of their, you know, the color of their skin. Pick them because of their merits, because they're good, you know, they're good athletes. They're amazing athletes, 100%. But, you know, in a sport, in an area, in a category that is represented by merit, you see the demographic that earns it. They earned it, right? The black people, right? The black athletes that earned their position, they did it by merit, not because of their skin tone. But that we don't talk about, right? We don't talk about how maybe Asian people earn their positions getting into certain colleges, right? We don't talk about that, but yet, you know what? We need DEI, right, or affirmative actions to, negate that and then push other minorities in front. Right? We don't talk about maybe white people earn their positions, I don't know, as action, whatever. Right? It's like when they're not in favor, right? When minorities, women, alphabet community, people in the alphabet community are not in favor, right? That's when we talk about not represented. But when they are, right? When they are a majority, or they're very highly represented, and the other people aren't represented, we don't talk about that. We don't care.
Represented with people that are black, especially just non-white in general. But we're not even going to bring that up at all. The fact is, like, superheroes are only one factor. We're not going to add in a quota, right? For like, oh, there needs to be this many white or black people in an NBA game. That's retarded.
That is important in the world. Now, obviously, again, you could say some games, some media, some forms of media, some people.
Yeah, think about every popular basketball player: LeBron James, Steph Curry, and you do have, Dirk Nowitzki or whatever the hell his name was. You've got what's his name? Fucking the OG Larry Bird. Like, you do have white basketball players, but it's like 10-1. It's 10-1, if not 20-1. It's overwhelmingly.
Push agendas, whatever. You could say you hate Lily Tino. Lily Tino's a fucking rage-baiting transgender. I don't fucking care. It doesn't take away the fact that Asmongold, not understanding this fact and being frustrated.
It's not a fact. It's just simply not a fact. I mean, if you look at pop music, look at all music in general. I think overwhelmingly look at the
the guy really didn't say any fact. Is that what certain people aren't represented? So fucking what? So what? So what? It's like, is he screaming for Asian people to be represented? No. Is he? What's he? It's like this is why these people are honestly hypocrites. They scream for women, people with the alphabet community, or black people be represented. They don't care about anything else. They're not asking for, let's say, I don't know, Indians being represented, Hispanics being represented. They're not asking for any of that. They're not demanding it. But they're demanding the trend, the things that are trendy, right? Right? The things that, you know what, are very hot to talk about.
Top 40 list, there's massive amounts of representation.
Controversially, I think the Illuminati is represented with black women, white liberal women, and people of the alphabet community, right? There's probably a trans person in there. There's probably a non-binary person in there, right? They're probably a gay. They're probably a lesbian, black, black trans women in there, right? I don't know. It's like, I think the Illuminati is made out of liberals.
Representation. You go back to 1990, there's massive amounts of representation. You look at sports, there's massive amounts of representation. Like, you look at this everywhere, this is the case. And also, the proof that representation doesn't matter is the fact that those sports are popular across all of America, and everybody watches them, despite them not being, as you're saying, represented, right? And then on top of that, you can look at things like Dragon Ball Z. You can look at other anime where everybody is relating to this anime character. The thing is that I think that maybe it's different for men and women, but I think that a lot of guys, what they relate to more is like values. They're not relating to the identity of the person, they're relating to the values. And I think that the main issue is that instead of people creating their separate own good media, like things like Black Panther, right? Everybody loves Black Panther. At least the first movie, I think, was a phenomenal, amazing, it was a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 movie. It was great. And like, nobody's mad about that. I feel like nobody's mad about that except for a few idiots. So why is nobody upset about this? Well, it's because it's its own media. But whenever you engage in race swaps, whenever you intentionally remove characters and then you try to replace them with characters of another identity group, that is a totally different world than if you're making your own media.
Because I think he's 32, 33. In the last 4 years,
I'm 32, 33. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
I've started fucking seeing gay people. He's having a fucking spasm attack.
I'm having a spasm attack because I'm seeing gay people? No, I'm having a spasm attack because gay people want to have their identity reaffirmed by every single company by adding a pride event into everything. I think it's annoying, it's obnoxious, and it's unnecessary. Every single video game doesn't need a pride event. If you're gay, then be gay. I don't want to have every company in the world that has some sort of obligation to acknowledge that gay people are good. This is outrageous. It's basically a cult of self-worship and narcissism that I don't want to have anything to do with. I'm tired of it. I don't have a problem with somebody being gay. I don't have an issue with somebody being trans. But whenever I constantly have to be like faced with it over and over and over, and also, by the way, it's not like you had a white identity month. You didn't have a black identity month either. I don't want to have identity events for different groups of people based off of a racial or a sexual reason. It's weird. And also,
100%. That's the point. I'm not screaming out hate, right? I'm not trying to scream out hate towards anyone. I'm just saying, like, just keep it to your fucking self. I don't give a shit. Why has it be in my face all the goddamn fucking time? I don't need to like, you know what, girl power everything. I don't need to, you know, gay shit everything. I don't need to trans shit everything. No, we don't need it. It's not desirable, because this is the thing. Again, I always think about this, right? Fine, you're doing it. Who's consuming it, right? A lot of like comic books, a lot of it is straight white men. Majority of it, right? Games, a lot of it is straight white men. Who the fuck are you gearing this to, right? Action movies, comic book movies. It's straight men. Majority of it is straight men. Yet, why do we have girl bosses shit? That's my problem, right? The majority of Terminator fans are men, and yet, what is it? Terminator, the last one, or the one that's that had Sarah Connor as the lead. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like you're the product is for men, yet you're trying to gear the product to another demographic. It's absolute idiocy. This is why I said I think feminists has destroyed men's entertainment. I don't give a shit if gay people are in every movie. Just keep it out of fucking action movies. Keep it out of cartoon. Or keep it out of comic books. I don't give a shit if women are leads in every other movie. Just keep it out of entertainment that I fucking like. I'm sorry. Just keep it out of entertainment I like.
you already have, in a way, you already have a gay event. It's called Valentine's Day. Gay people celebrate Valentine's Day. Think about it.
It's just bullshit. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. It's fucking bullshit. You can call me woke. I don't really give a fuck. But you can't sit here and crave you want Modern Warfare lobbies back and people to call each other slurs and say crazy things, but you spaz out every time you see a fucking rainbow.
I do, and it's the same reason, and it's because nobody can criticize it. That's the reason why. See, a lot of people like him, they create this false dichotomy where us being offended and over-controlling and trying to make all media reaffirm our ideology, this somehow, you disliking this is the same as us freaking out about being misgendered. This type of language inversion might work with other people that agree with you, but everybody that's normal realizes that it's obviously a huge difference between somebody freaking out that, you know, somebody got misgendered versus somebody being annoyed that every piece of media seems to have to reaffirm.
This thing, right? A COD lobby, right? It's like, or people outrage it because, like, it's the freedom of speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want. The difference is, like, the rainbow thing is like you are pushing shit that you want onto others. That's the difference, right? You want to say racial shit, whatever, but then it's the thing where you don't need I don't give a shit what you say. I can say the same thing back to you, right? But you pushing your ideology onto me, you are force feeding me your ideology. You're sticking your ideology down my throat. That is the problem. That is the difference, right? Again, I had this debate, right, with someone on Facebook about, you know, the football halftime show. Right? He's saying, oh, you know what? Hispanics need representation. Why? So what? Next is going to be the Chinese. Next is going to be the Indians, the Pakistans, right? Pakistanis. Next is going to be so each Super Bowl, right, should be every language besides English, which is Americans, right? English speaking nation is gonna every fucking other culture besides America? Yeah, the old COD libraries. Yeah, I remember those times. Right? The Counter-Strike lobbies. Boo. And that's the thing I'm talking about. Right? That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the difference. There's a difference between those things, right?
A gay identity. It's obnoxious. It's annoying. It's overstepping. And I think that people are tired of it. I think overwhelmingly people are tired of it. 99% of people. So this is what they try to do, is they try to create this this false dichotomy where you being angry about us pushing woke stuff is the same as us being angry about getting triggered about everything. That's not going to work, okay? It's totally different. I don't want to live in a world that is constantly defined by the mentally ill. And I'm not talking about gay people.
Oh, that is the fucking line right there. That right there is the line. I don't want to live in a world defined by the mentally ill. I do not want to live in a world where you are not allowed, right, to call out the mentally ill. I don't want to live in a world where you have to bend the knee to the mentally ill. And I think, I'm sorry, people on the left, liberals, Democrats, people of the alphabet community are mentally ill. I'm sorry, you are. Because you got to think, right? At the end of the day, it's the lack of... this is the personal opinion, right? Personal opinion is that when you... Most of the time, life, right? It's a straight line, right? When you divert from that line, you are different, which is fine. I've said this, I've lived my life like this in the mentality where it is perfectly fine to be different. But understand it, you're different. Okay? When I go to school with all white people, I know that I'm diverting that line. I'm walking a different path. I'm different. Okay, cool. I'm not crying about it. All right. So being straight is that path, right? When 80% of people are straight, that is the path. So when you divert from it, you are different. Live with it. Live with it. So, but when you're different, live that ideology. You are different. You are abnormal. You're not the norm. Right? And that's again, I hate it when people are like, oh my God, what? You call me different? You call me not normal? Yeah, bitch, you're not normal. So what? Right? You not accepting, your abnormalities, right, is honestly a delusion in itself. So I'll call that shit out. So that's part of the mental illness I'm talking about.
I'm talking about people that can't stand to hear anybody who disagrees with them. And also, here's another component to it. If you criticize the events, if you say anything that's negative about this, you get instantly banned. So there's not even a conversation that's allowed to be had on any sort of an official...
And that's exactly, right? You can't even talk about it. You can't even, voice opinions on it. So really, Asmund Gold voicing an opinion on it, right, is something wrong about that? So when his opinion is different from you, that is wrong, right? I don't go out here saying, if Alan has a different opinion than me, oh, you know what? Ban his opinion. He shouldn't have an opinion. No. I support people who has an opposing opinion. Great. Also, let me hear it. But I'm not here. It's like, oh, you know what? No. Your opinion is wrong, and you know what? You shouldn't have your opinion. No, have your opinion. I mean, if I believe your opinion is wrong and I couldn't disprove it, well, it is what it is, right? I mean, I couldn't change your mind on it. It is what it is. We're adults. We're not fucking children, right? I don't need to, father you into trying to change your opinions. Whatever. But you hating my opinion and then trying to cancel my opinion, i.e., right? Well, like I just said, Jaden Ivory had an opinion of the LGB whatever community, and he got canceled for it.
Platform discussing the validity of an event like this and whether people are in favor of it or not. So whenever you can't even talk about this and everything else, and then you're saying people are getting triggered because of that, no, I don't think so. And if you do think so, then I guess that we're triggered, right? I mean, you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, it's like racism. Yeah, sure. Censorship will always backfire. Yeah, you can't have a conversation with these people. And again, You know, if you acted like that in the COD lobby, nobody's saying it should be against the rules to be gay. But whenever you have every single company that's pushing narratives about this and they're doing pride events for it, I think it's exhausting. It's absolutely. So yeah, I don't. It's not about representation. It's about again, it's about elevation. Why is it that we have an event that's about gay people? It's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And I think it's ridiculous for trans people. Like, imagine, and here's how you know it would be ridiculous. Would these people be okay with there being an event that celebrated white people? Would they be okay with there being an event that celebrated heterosexuality? Would they be okay with an event that celebrated, you know, like...
Controversially, I don't think black people should have a month. Stop it, right? Every day is, you know, black people are part of America. It should be every day. It's every day. Just like white people are every day. Just like, it's just fucking, like, stop it. All right, stop it. You sure? You're like, goddamn. It's like, what is it, Juneteenth or whatever, or Black History Month, whatever. No, fuck it. Learn about Black history every day. Learn about it every day. It doesn't. You don't need to signify with a month. It's just coddling.
I guess men. No, they wouldn't. Okay, so then it's not about representation. Because if it was actually about representation, you'd want to represent everybody. But they have no interest in representing everybody. They have an interest in representing themselves, their ideology. And what you also have to keep in mind is that a lot of these pride events are not really about necessarily being gay. They're about it is a public display of leftist ideology controlling and dominating media. That's what it's really about. It's like an advertisement for this ideology in a complete totality. And that's the reason why I get annoyed by it. And I think that people should continue complaining about this and continue being hostile about it. I do.
That's why I will continue. Again, it's just you're trying to push your degenerate ideologies onto people. Keep your degeneracy in your own fucking home. All right? You want to like you said, you want to suck dick? Do it in your own home. All right? Do it in your own home. You want to like twirl like a degenerate? Fine. Do it in your own fucking home.
I think that just like Bud Light, there is a critical mass where companies will be afraid to do this. And I think that they should be. I don't think that there's any benefit to doing something like this. And I think that it actually separates gay people from the rest of the population even more. I think that if you want to be gay, that's fine. Go ahead and be gay. But the constant need for reaffirmations and then to be celebrated is obnoxious, narcissistic, and it's unnecessary. And I think it's confrontational and it's annoying. And I don't want to deal with it. This cat's making people hate gays? Yeah, I think so too. And what is this? I have no idea what this is.
And you know, that's the thing, right? I'm not saying I hate the alphabet community. I don't hate them, but the constant pushing it down my throat, right? You know, the constant need to, you know, be represented in everything. It's making me not like them, right? It's making me not like them because I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of it.
And what is it? You don't have the main issue is that, like, if your identity is your sexuality, you don't have a personality.
It's true.
You're a loser. Yeah, true. But yeah,
I'm 27.
Is that like people are constantly represented in media? I mean, you look at sports. I mean, you look at one small slice of it. That's different. And nobody says that. It just needs to be said more often. Like it should be out in the open. Well, that's the reason why. Is that the reason why I say this stuff is because if I don't say this stuff, nobody else will say.
TBD, what is up, my brother? What is up? I'm tired of the left, boss. I'm tired of the left as well. I'm tired of the left. I really am. And again, this is a thing where, you know, the whole alphabet community shit, it's just more leftist ideology. That's it. Steve, what is up, my brother? What is up? Mischief, my brother. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. It's just more pushing of these abnormal ideology, right? I'm sorry, right? They're abnormal, which is fine. I said this right. Being abnormal, it is fine. But again, trying to push it towards, you know, the majority, I think it's just too much. Keep it to your fucking self. Keep it to your own community.
This stuff. Because I think people are afraid of the pushback for it, and they're afraid of being misrepresented. Luckily, I'm very popular. I do very well for myself, so it doesn't really matter if that happens to me. But for a lot of other people, it does matter a lot to them, and they get harassed, etc. It doesn't bother me at all. It's fine. So this is the reason why I say it. It's because I think if I say it, other people will agree with.
That is crazy. That is crazy. We got these gremlins running around with machetes on the streets now. They tried to open our door last night. Yo, you know how many times, right? When I was with my girlfriend, right? Again, my ex, she lived in Leicester, right? Leicestershire, England. How many times she's called me? How many times she cries to me that these hoodlums, these degenerates, are banging on her door, trying to open her door, trying to, enter her home. Absolute disgusting. Absolute. And again, it is the left, the feminists, it is the liberals that are pushing these degeneracy, these honestly harmful ideologies, these terrible people into our society. Absolutely disgusting.
Me, but they're not really willing to say it themselves. So yeah, all the pride stuff is on purpose to create hate like they do with race stuff. No, it's not. It's just a bunch of narcissistic, boring, loser LGBT people that are looking for ways to celebrate themselves because they have no personality other than the fact that they like having sex with a certain type of person. That's the only real reason why. It's just a bunch of narcissists looking for approval. It's annoying. I think most normal gay people and most normal trans people don't want to have anything to do with that. They might appreciate the representation, but the extent that these people go through to be seen is probably annoying. It's attention-seeking behavior, and it's unnecessary. There's like a new WoW cinematic with Sylvanas in it? What is this? I think this must be it, right? Let me guess what happened at the end of the raid. They vanquish the threat, but Xalatath comes in to basically maintain that there's a larger threat. Like, is that pretty much what happened?
All right, that's it for this one. Let's check out another video of his. This is another one that I wanted to check out.
So you gotta put these teachers in jail for child grooming. I mean, they're going around telling their kids you don't have a gender? Look down. You're wrong. Like, it's so stupid. Like, what are we doing here?
Have a good time here.
Hi, I'm Jinx. I go by they pronouns, and I am the vice president of GSA, and I am Cal's father.
Hi, my name is B.
Jinx?
Pronouns they, them. And,
I was talking to Antics before, right? How the alphabet community can have about a 23 million population in America, almost, if not equal to the Asian community, because of stupid shit like this, right? You call yourself they, them, it, that, whatever. So you pretty much add yourself to the census that you are part of this alphabet community. This is what I'm saying. This is why the stats on these deranged people are the problem too, right? It's all over the place. There's sometimes their stat is low, sometimes their stat is high. It's because we're promoting the deranged and we're pushing that onto our children. This is why shit like this, no child should be calling them they, them, whatever, right? It, zoop, blah, 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 right? No child should be doing that shit.
I'm GSA secretary. One little fact about myself.
Yeah, what about you?
That I like public speaking.
Wow.
Hello, my name.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Well, there it is. Holy shit. It's a contagion. Well, the thing is that, I mean, again, the more you allow people like...
And this is middle school. Middle school. I'm sorry. We are not... we are not trying to, we are indulging in children's insanity, mental illness. We are indulging in children's mental illness because we indulge in adult mental illness. Instead of, you know what, I'm sorry, shit like this needs to be fixed.
Oh my God, bro. Like, you gotta do something about the mass psychosis. I don't even think this is mass psychosis. I think it is just as simple as, I mean, middle schoolers. I mean, you're basically, I mean, you're going in there for the execute whenever the boss is at like 1% HP. Like, telling middle schoolers that they don't understand their sexuality should be fucking illegal. Like, they barely, even if you tell them they do understand it, they won't believe you. So, like, it's the easiest thing to do, right? I mean, god damn, you're spawn camping them. Exactly. And so you're grooming them. Like, you've got they're adults that are doing this. It's insane how this is happening. It's a hidden maps that are trying to sexualize children and groom them. I think that if you made a Venn diagram between the people that want to introduce this type of gender ideology to children and people that are pedophiles, and you did another Venn diagram of the general population and pedophiles, I think the people with the gender ideology and pedophiles, those two circles, they'd be closer together.
My name is Ash or Rohan, depending on where you know me from.
Ash or Rohan? What, from Lord of the Rings?
Fact about me is that I'm an artist. I like to draw.
Yeah, what, furries?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm Socks. I'm the 8th grade representative of the GSA.
Oh my god.
She, they pronouns, and
These are the future of men, right? These boys, this is the problem, right? This is the problem. We're constantly saying that, you know, men are getting less and less testosterone. You wonder why. You wonder why. We're pushing this absolute stupidity, these derangements onto our children. And then these children, right, these young boys grow up to be what? Weak ass fucking men. Right? They become weak ass men. I just think it's sad, right? I think all these little boys either have no father or probably weak ass fathers. Weak ass liberal father.
Interesting fact about me is that I was one of 3 cuttable characters in the play.
Yeah?
Hi, my name is
Can you believe that? He's a theater kid. I would have never kissed.
Clover.
Uh-huh.
My pronouns change often, but if you don't know, just say they them.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna use retard.
I'm the 6th grade representative, and fact about me is I love manga. The president did not want to be in this video, but their name is Cal, and they have purple.
Oh my god, isn't it outrageous? It's so he's stuck in his last role now. Yeah, I guess so. Future school shooters, I mean, maybe some of them, right? I mean, like it's again, I think it is the unsupervised, uninhibited interactions that are sexually charged with adults. I mean, I don't see how any reasonable good person can.
What happened to just thinking you're goth? Right? When I was back in school, right? The people that are outcasts are goths, right? Or punks, right? Rebels. It's like, but now it's like you're either transgender or you're non-binary. Like, why don't you just be goths? Like just do the dark shit.
Think that it's a good idea that you have a bunch of random teachers that are going around telling your kids they don't know what gender they are. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Like, I get that, like, if you're 19, if you're 21, if you're 18, you know, you're an adult, right? You can vote, you can sign up to be in the military, you can buy a gun. Like, you can decide what gender you are at that point, right? You want to go through trans surgery and do that and, you know, go through all this crazy shit? Go ahead. Like, who gives a fuck, right? I don't care. But the problem is whenever you're doing it and you're 12, That is the issue. And the problem with that is that they learned all this vocabulary from an adult. They didn't, you think it just spawned in? You think this just happened on its own? That they just all came up with these ideologies and these perceptions on their own? No. These are people, like if these people didn't have internet access, would they still be this way? The answer, in my opinion, is obviously a no.
Yeah, obviously no. I mean, I grew up in a time where we didn't have internet. I mean, like, this is the thing where I grew up in a time where you could see the change, right? You could see where the start of the internet, right? You could see the start of the internet. No one talked about they were non-binary or trans and all that shit, right? Again, that's not the vocabulary. I mean, no one was desiring to dress like a woman, right? And even that before the internet, we had plenty of what did they call again? I forgot. What did they call? Cross dressers, right? We had plenty of cross dressers. Right? We had plenty of people who wanted to dress. It just wasn't the norm. But now it wasn't trendy, right? Now it is a whole class of delusional little kids thinking that they're weirdos. Great, but thinking that they're extra weirdo.
So if you have internet access that is enabling these girls and boys to have this like fucking myopic, deranged view on their own sexuality, I think you've got a pretty big problem. No public funding though? Yeah, go ahead. Don't expect me to pay for it. Well, yeah, obviously. Like, I mean, yeah, let's do I think that we should pay for cancer treatment or trans surgeries? Do you want to cut a cancer off or do you want to cut a dick off? Geez, guys, it's a really hard decision. And so, yeah, I think everybody's on the same page with that. But I've seen this, and I think that, like, again, how are we not going after these people? How are we not going after the students, and not the students, excuse me, these are kids, right? These kids are victims, really. I mean, they're victims of this. They're victims of grooming.
They're victims of their own stupidity, right? They're victims of their lack of maturity, lack of understanding. Okay, their desire to be accepted, right? Their desire to be, trendy, and their desire to be different. Because this is a thing where I think a lot of kids nowadays, they want to be different, so they can be trendy, so they can be the it thing.
But why are we not going after the parents? Why are we not going after the teachers and like really going as far as, again, we allow it. Yeah, we allow this to happen. We do. We allow this to happen. And I think that we should be absolutely militantly aggressive against this. We should. This is deranged. And if they brainwash a new crop of freaks like this to hate themselves, hate their gender, hate the world, hate society, I don't think that's a W for anybody. It just makes the world a worse place, and the doctor too. Oh, I am a very big advocate of saying that as soon as you make a law against like the detransitioning minors, I think that we retroactively charge the doctors. I think that we do that and we charge the parents as accessories. I think you go as far as you possibly can. Like, I'm talking about scorched earth, and people will say that it's unfair. And I'm going to say, good. That's what you get. You shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it. Transitioning to minors, not detransitioning. Excuse me. Yes, transitioning. And do you think history will go back at this and look at that the same way they look at lobotomies? I think that the idea of a person being trans and thinking that they're another gender. So to the extent that, and we'll get big picture for a minute here, right? So if we ever live in a world where the digital expression of a human being is more important to their identity than their physical expression, then I think being trans will become normalized and it will just become an everyday thing because some people will just simply want to be that way. It's the same as people play female characters in video games, right? I think and this is a big picture conceptual, like Ready Player One, like Sword Art Online perceptual. So like, I think that there is a world where that happens. And I think that like, if you ever got to a point in the future where somebody could genetically change their gender 100% male to female, I think there would be people that would be like uncomfortable about it. But I think that culturally it would become normalized in that time period over like 30 years, right? And people would just accept it. The same as people accept hair transplants or breast implants or things like that now. But you'd always have some people that would be uncomfortable, right? That would just kill you. Well, we're talking about scientific theoretical fantasies, right? But the more realistic outcome is that I think that science and like society will look at the transitioning of underage people to another gender as like basically a lobotomy. I do think that they'll look at it from that direction. Now, I'm not saying with everything. And I think with adults, it'll probably just be like kind of one of those like unspoken things. But for kids, I do think people will see that. Yeah, that's the way I would look at it. You can't change your chromosomes. Well, look, I'm inventing science so we can have a hypothetical conversation, right? I mean, again, like you can go into like the biology of it or the science of it or everything else, but I'm just simply inventing this for a conversation point. And again, I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I do think that like for kids, people are just insane, right? And I can't change my species. Well, theoretically, in that case, you would be able to, right? I don't know. You're inventing science just like they.
Well, I mean, like I was worrying that question too, right? But AI said, while full biological sex change, like changing chromosomes in every cell, is likely impossible. Likely, so it's not 100% impossible. But future technology may allow for profound biological changes, such as growing and implanting fully functioning custom sex organs via stem cell engineering. Like there are some cases where we have I think I don't know who, but they're trying to build functional wombs, right? So yeah, maybe that could happen one day, right? But this is my thing, right? It might not be able, because there's other things, right? I mean, like you can tell a male bone structure with a female bone structure because of the hip, the hip bone, and it's made so it can push out a baby, while a man's isn't. So would we have to I don't know, shave the hip bone and shit like that? It's a lot of craziness. So I don't know.
They are. Yeah, I think you're right. And do you think that Russia and China had a part in this to make it easier when they attack? Russia and China having a part in this? No, I actually think that. So I think that the reason why you're seeing a lot of this like transgender stuff and you're seeing identity stuff happen a lot in the West. So there's a number of reasons why, but the main reason is that we've been defeated by success. The West, European countries, Western countries, United States of America primarily, and also Britain and other places too, like Germany, we have been defeated by the amount of absolute luxury and lack of struggle, striving, effort, and danger that the life creates, right? There's no danger in our life anymore. There's no saber-toothed tigers. There's no mammoths. There's no invading hordes of Mongols. There's no, I mean, like, I guess if you live in Ukraine, maybe, but like, in a general sense, like that's not really the case. And before I'm not talking about like migration or like, illegal immigration. I mean like a legitimate war, right? An actual real war. We don't have any of those things in Western countries. There's none of these things. And I think that I think that the human mind has the concept, like this is an idea that was explored in a lot of science fiction, right? The Matrix, for example, is that like the human beings, and I agree with this, is that human beings have the desire to struggle. Human beings want to struggle. They want to have something that is stressful and unpleasant and problematic that they have to strive towards. And I think that there's a lot of points of psychology that lead in this direction.
Interesting. It was a kind of a short one. What do you guys think? I was just more watching it for the video that he was playing, so it was an interesting one. I think it's sad, right? My daughter is in middle school, and she has told me about the insanities of people in her school. So I don't know. I think it's just, to be honest, it's sad. It really is, in my opinion, because these kids are messed up, and these kids are supposed to be the future, right? These kids are supposed to be the future, and they're this messed up. So I don't know. I don't know. Again, that's it for tonight, right? That's it for tonight. A bit of shorter stream. I mean, it's almost 2 hours, right? Almost 2 hours. I just wanted to talk about this topic. Like I said, I mean, like, I got off of work a bit late, had to get something to eat, so didn't get on stream until like 9:30, which is a little bit later than usual, but not like extremely later than usual. But I didn't have a whole lot of planned, so I wanted to go with these couple of videos. Again, I've been critical. I've been extremely critical of the Transformers community, right? I've been extremely critical. Brent, my brother, thank you for always being here. Thank you for always support, right? Thank you for always being in the chat, my brother. I love you. I love you. Right? You are an amazing supporter. So thank you for always being here. I've always been critical of them. It's just because of their mental instabilities, their delusions, right? I can't stand it. I've said this countless times before. I will always point out delusions, hypocrisies, insanities, you know, the people who have no accountability. I was always pointed out. So, you know, that's my thing. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. That is it for tonight. I love you guys, right? Thank you guys for just stopping by. Okay. You know, thank you for stopping by. I love you guys, right? Like I said, Brent, Steve was here, TBD, you know, Alan was here for a little bit. Laughing Man was here for a little bit. Antics. You guys are amazing. I love you guys, right? So thank you for just showing a little bit of support, right? I love you guys. Hope you guys have a good night. Hope you guys have a, you know, good rest of your weekend. All right. I might, I don't know yet. I'm playing Slay the Spire 2. I love that game. I really do. So I've been playing like crazy. I might stream it tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. Steve, later, my brother. I love you. All right. Later. Guys, I love you. All right. So check out my other videos, please. Please check out my other videos. Please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Comment on these videos. It helps me